With the Phantom earning money for the first time in weeks, he decides to take the risk, fix it later, drive on. Turbo still has 3,000 kilometres to go on his vital cross-country run. He must be in Darwin in 4 days. To make it in time, he needs to pull out all the stops. But from nowhere,
something's not right. Something's not right at all.
Turbo's engine trouble is back.
Engine temperature's actually running up pretty high. The oil pressure's actually dropped down below 300. Have to get up here and pull up and have a look at it. That's not good. Oil coming out of the filter.
The engine's losing oil. This won't be an easy fix.
You've got to drain all the oil out of it, you've got to pull the sump off it, you've got to clean it all. And that's not a 5-minute job.
Turbo can't make repairs here. He'll have to risk driving to the next town, a day and a half away.
Not good. We've got a little problem. She's completely blowing the bloody fuse in the circuit, so I've got to get into the fuse box.
Fixing an electrical problem means yet more delays.
Why has this happened to me? Just when I thought the day was going to be a good day.
He's already behind schedule.
Not this today.
Taking his cab to pieces is the last thing Turbo needs.
That many bloody fuses, it's not funny.
Luckily, it's just a blown fuse. A $2 replacement should do the job. Only problem, finding one.
The amount of bloody crap I carry in here, right?
With no replacement to hand, the fix is textbook Turbo.
One hot wire.
Stripping down a piece of wire.
We have power.
Turbo needs to make up lost time. But as darkness falls, something in his wing mirror catches his attention.
Have a look in the mirror.
There's sparks flying from the back of the truck.
Whatever it is, it ain't good.
Turbo needs to pull over as fast as possible. Where there's sparks, there could be fire. At the rear of Turbo's 40-metre road train lies the culprit.
Chains.
A chain that's supposed to be holding a 28-tonne excavator.
It's completely come undone.
If he hadn't caught the problem in time, the load could have become dangerously unstable.
Just goes to show how rough these roads are. That train was super bloody tight, but now here it is. Sand and sparks everywhere. It's one of them things you don't bloody see until after it happens.
Next morning, Turbo's on the road early. He wants to check in with wife Jo in Brisbane.
Yeah. No, well that's... I've got an overheat engine shutdown.
Turbo's engine troubles are back.
I don't know. Until I bloody open that bonnet and I have a look at it.
If the trouble is serious, Turbo's trip could be over right here. Under the hood, there's no sign of a problem. Turbo thinks an air pocket in the truck's cooling system might be the culprit.
The header tank's full of water. What I'm actually starting to think is maybe I've got an airlock in there somewhere.
He hopes that opening a release valve on the red-hot engine will clear the blockage.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's hot! Oh.
Scalding water has hit Turbo in the eye.
Can you imagine getting your kettle and sticking your hand in it and just flicking it over your face? That's what it's like. Right on the point of the actual eyeball itself.
If getting burnt wasn't enough, the engine problem is still a mystery.
why it overheated. I've got no water leaks, I've got plenty of coolant. I have no idea.
But with every minute lost, Turbo's falling further behind time. If he's to make Darwin on schedule, he must get back on the road. After a colossal 3,500 kilometres, the end is in sight.
Almost there. 80 clicks south of Darwin.
Turbo can check in with his client and bring the load home.
Yeah, just let him know Turbo, P&J Transport, the excavators. You probably see me coming around the corner now.
Yeah, I do.
Turbo's made it to the finish, and he has a happy client.
All right, mate, I start setting this, getting it ready.
In Karratha, it's departure day for Johnny Dow and his double road train of housing steel. This part of Australia is a mining hub with some very big trucks on the road. The only way of knowing if one's around the corner is over the radio.
Northbound 2 at 8 metres, mate.
No worries, mate. I'll pull up and make some room.
Yeah.
They'll have anything between 50 and 100 tonnes sitting on the truck, so you let them have everything. Yeah, you don't really want to run into one of those.
Back on the road, and Johnny gets another urgent message.
Flapping around near the last of your tyres,
I've also got one strap coming loose by the sound of it. It's flapping around like that. If it's long enough and it gets in the wheel and the wheel grabs hold of it, it'll probably rip the strap off. Well, this one here looks a bit loose. That doesn't look right, does it?
Johnny's only 2 hours into his run.
That's broken. Snap clean off.
On smooth bitumen, he's already breaking straps.
Bit short now.
All he can do is replace it and pray he doesn't break anymore.
This is on the lovely part of the road. How are we going to go when we get out there?
With time lost fixing his load, Johnny's deadline is entering his thoughts.
I've got to be in Balgo by 12 o'clock tomorrow because they've booked the machine to unload it.
After a lot of hard driving, he's made it to the start of the dirt.
This is a Tanami. Let a bit of air out of the tyres. Have a look at everything to make sure it's on good. Take a deep breath and go for it.
The Tanami comes out swinging. Johnny knows his load is getting battered.
It's continuous wriggling.
But with all the dust, he can only imagine the damage.
I can't see properly.
His 42 wheels are whipping up a massive dust cloud. With no wind to blow it away, it's hiding half of his road train. Corrugations are hammering his load. He can't see if it's holding together.
I'll get out and have a look. I reckon there'll be more movement in the camp line now. That one up there's going AWOL. It used to be in line like that one there. Now it's going sideways.
Johnny's load is on the move, in a bad way.
This is a nice trailer. That was a naughty trailer.
Constant jarring from the road is inching the frames out from underneath the straps. And on the part of the load that's holding, sharp steel edges are shearing through the straps.
See that one there starting to get ready to chew into there?
The shifting load is now starting to overhang the truck.
Like I've got the oversized sign on, it's getting more and more oversized as I go. That's why I'm stopping every 20 Ks. Thinking, this is going to get worse.
In the middle of nowhere, Johnny can't restack the frames himself. He has little choice but to keep going. Time spent fixing his load has cost Johnny dearly. If all had gone well, he could have made Balgo today. But now night is falling, and he's still got 200 kilometres to go.
It just doesn't look like we're going to make it, so we're going to pull over wherever we can, because don't want to be driving in the dark where I can't see down the side of the truck what's going on back there, so we'll find somewhere to get off the road and call it a night.
As Johnny stops for the night, the bad news gets worse.
Yeah, that thing shit itself and fell all the way back now.
The way this load is moving, he'll be lucky if it gets in at all.
You check the bank?
In Darwin, Turbo is still waiting for money to fuel his truck.
No, nothing in there.
Ah, for sake. Can I go around and shoot all these now?
1,600 kilometres away in Mount Isa, his next load is waiting for him. If he can't leave in the next 24 hours, he'll lose the job.
But this is just bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
They say one thing and they don't do it.
Yeah.
They'll be getting phone calls tomorrow.
Next morning,
Oh, that's hot.
there's still no money in the bank. His deadline is almost up. Desperate times call for desperate measures. At a garage, Turbo hopes he can use his charm to persuade the management to take a check.
After all this drama, one piece of good news. They will actually take a check off. So I can fuel and I can get the out of town.
While he can fill up, it's a gamble. If Turbo isn't paid by the time the check hits his account, he'll have a brand new headache to deal with.
$2,245.16 gone in 10 minutes.
That's clean enough. At least I can see what I'm about to bloody hit.
With his destination still more than 1,000 kilometres away, he needs to push on.
A delay at this point is a case of it breaks the bank. I've got to do what I've got to do to get there.
With just a small boat on board, he's running light. He can make up precious time.
At the moment, I'm basically loaded with thin air.
But up ahead, Turbo meets his nemesis.
Caravans. Here we are on a federal highway, 130 kilometre zone, and we're now doing 70 and dropping. It's all right, buddy boy. I got all the time in the world. I can do 60 kilometres an hour. They are an absolute danger, and I mean they're the biggest dangers on the road. I'm 40 metres in length, and I can't do anything. I've just got to sit here and endure this punishment.
While Turbo can finally overtake, up ahead is something even more dangerous, a bushfire.
This area is actually very dry. It's really windy, which is not a good sign. If that has hit on the highway and it closes the highway, it is all over Red Rover. There could be 20, 30-foot flames right on the edge of the road. We're going to drive straight into the centre of that. Straight into the heart of it.
His hopes rest on a radio call to another trucker.
Over there, northbound float. Yeah, matey, what's the DA back here of this scrub fire? Whereabouts is she, mate?
It's not a worry to you, mate. It's still well off the road.
While the news is good,
Looking at it, we are sort of going to run along the edge of it.
Turbo's lost valuable time. He has a long night ahead of him.
I can hear a metal, metallic sound coming out from underneath somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is as yet. All I can do now is just see if I can see anything.
Out here, deep in the outback, it's a dangerous place to have a problem.
It's real big snake territory, this. Mate, and they'll actually be curled up on the ground. Just make sure this is right. Yeah,
A loose chain seems to be the problem.
That's all it takes is one little thing like that. Could end up losing the whole boat off the side.
But Turbo's spotted something else.
I just want to climb in and just double check this.
A part of his brakes has come loose. It's hanging by a thread. He's out of mobile contact, hundreds of kilometres from the nearest town. He's alone in the pitch black of night and in snake country. To make matters worse, if Turbo can't fix the problem, he risks losing a job and thousands of dollars. With a leaking water pump and an overheating truck, Nick and Joe Atkins have limped into Theta Station.
I'd say she's just worn out.
Tomorrow they're due in Columbaroo, now only 50 kilometres away. But Nick's worried the water pump won't even last that long.
How you going? This is Nick here from North Kimberley Transport. I'm chasing a water pump for a Mack CH. Do you? Yep.
Good news, the pump's in stock
No worries.
and can be flown to their next stop. But back at the truck,
Yo!
One of these drums rubs a hole.
another leak, this time in a fuel drum.
Busted the arse out of the drum.
Oh,
One more casualty from the relentless rough road.
Fuel pushing on the bottom of the drum, flexes the drum and eventually cracks it.
At least this leak is a quick fix. Turn the drum upside down and problem solved. Back onto the Columbaroo Road.
This is where the fun begins.
That's barely a road at all.
Then it just starts getting narrow and rougher and rocky rough because it doesn't get maintained. But it is a pretty poor excuse for a road, really. Just a billy goat track, that's about all it is.
Only 30 kilometres to go. On any other road, they'd be on the home straight.
So bloody nice. I'll just pull up his gear where it's a bit wider.
Another mechanical failure could be the final blow.
Something that's not right, so I'll climb on and have a look.
But right now, it's a puzzle Nick doesn't have time to solve. This freight for the general store needs to be offloaded. After the violent journey, they're anxious to see its condition. A little dusty, but all intact. All that's left now is to deliver 10 drums of fuel to a remote fishing camp, just 30 kilometres north. It's only a short distance, but on a narrow, sandy track. Nick and Joe take a gamble on their failing water pump and head into the wilderness.
Well, here's a honeymoon turn-off. This is where we go from a beaten track down to just a billy goat track from here on for the next 7k.
It's a track for four-wheel drives only, not a 30-ton truck and trailer.
Hang on.
when we come down this road last trip and there's a few more tourists around and they all look at us pretty weird when we're taking the prime mover down here. And
This is where we're likely to get stuck, just in here.
traction.
Yeah, mongrel.
This is his first run.
After 2 costly months off the road, Sludge's Phantom is back from the mechanics looking brand new.
Hopefully there'll be nothing wrong with it.
Ready for its first serious test.
A couple of tanks I bought for farmers have had, so they're quite good because they're not a big high load, they're a nice low load. So we'll get her up to the edge of town, just have a look and make sure nothing's rattled loose under the front of her.
It's not the stop he was hoping for.
Oh, I've got a bit of an oil leak. I'm just not sure what the hell's leaking actually, but I'll wipe everything down. That's a bit of a worry. You just never know with an oil leak. It could be just a little thing, but it could just go with hoses and that, they just go push and that's it. Dumps all the oil and you run out of whatever.
With the Phantom earning money for the first time in weeks, Sludge can't afford to sit and wait for a mechanic. He decides to take the risk, fix it later, drive on. But not for long.
Ah, the water buzzer just went off. Oh, I might have to pull up. All the gauges are right. I don't know whether it's a sensor because I've had the truck apart or I'm just going to pull in here and have a little bit of a look. Let's have a quick look at that water. All new radiator and everything in there.
He's hoping it's not a fault with the new $8,000 radiator he's just had fitted.
They ain't cheap. That's not the problem. You've got lots of red stuff. All right. Must be a wire somewhere playing up. In here. It's not what I thought it was.
Back on the road, Sludge's frustrations continue.
Answer your phone.
Sorry, I missed your call. Please.
He's trying to call his customer to check what plans are in place to lift the giant tank off the trailer when he delivers it.
One of the customers I'm going to, I can't get hold on the phone. I've been trying for a couple of hours.
Each tank is close to 15 metres long and weighs more than 10 tonnes. Not easy to move without a heavy-duty forklift or crane.
No, I don't have time to bugger around. I've got to keep moving because I've got to be at another customer's place to unload the front ones.
With no word from the customer, Sludge is forced to change his plans.
We're going to do this backwards. We're going to our second customer first because the other guy hasn't got his loaders ready. So just going to drop a trailer here where we're going to unload one and then we'll come back here and pick it up. There's our Manitou.
The plan is to use forks to lift the tank off.
Ooh, it's bigger than I thought. I bet you the tank's bigger than he thought.
But Sludge isn't sure it's going to have the grunt to do the job safely.
But I've got a feeling that this thing's not going to lift it, so we're going to have to try and get it on the Manitou and then slide it down onto the ground without damaging anything. So we'll see how we go.
The tank's long and the forks are narrow.
We're going to put a strap through. Hang on. Hook her onto the forks and just so that it doesn't roll off when he lifts her up.
Can they support something this big?
We'll soon find out.
It's going to be a balancing act.
Get under as far as we can. I'll let her go. Here we go, the minute of truth. Well, look out for the tractor landing on its head. That's it, yep, whoop, slide yourself right in. Go right in.
It's looking like a mismatch.
Right on the limit now.
It's not just size and shape that matter. Even empty, the solid metal tank weighs 10 tonnes.
It's right on the end of it. Oh, I think you've got it, you know. You have.
I know. You moved that truck out.
It may be in the air, but the forklift driver has to hold it there while Sludge drives the trailer out from under it. Mission accomplished.
That's good. One tank off. One to go.
But Sludge is worried about the next drop.
So, mate, catch up with you. Tank to tank, you never know how easy they're going to be to get off or how hard they're going to be to get off.
He's had trouble getting through to the customer.
Beautiful. As easy as that. Straight in, hook it up, and gone.
He doesn't know what sort of unloading equipment will be waiting when he arrives. But after the long trek up to the farm sheds, a pleasant surprise.
Oh, nice loader. Nice loader. I ain't going to let this one fall off. She's going to be a piece of get this puppy off.
But even with plenty of lifting power, it's still a tricky manoeuvre.
Right up and at him. That's her. I'll just pull any way.